There's news that they are talking about using the Penguin in an upcoming DCEU movie, and this has me super excited for a number of different reasons. But before we get started, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. It'll help you keep track of all the DC news that's happening at CinemaBlend. When you think about it, there haven't been any classic Batman villains on screen in the DCEU since this whole thing started with Man of Steel, and to me, that's a huge problem. We haven't had a time to sort of stop and see Ben Affleck's Batman interact with any of his classic foes. I want to see these characters. I want to see Batman, whether it's Ben Affleck or a younger version, fighting against some of these classic, long-time Batman villains. There's been this move to make all of Batman's villains more grounded and realistic, when the fact that they shouldn't necessarily be grounded and realistic. They're over-the-top cartoonish, especially Two-Face. Like, Two-Face should be maniacal. He gets half of his face burned off, but Aaron Eckhart played him seriously, and that's not the way to do it. I mean, let's talk about Bane for a second, right? He's not a very exciting villain. The fact that he's a big hulking guy is not that intimidating, because Batman usually figures out a way to beat him. And the only reason that anybody cares about Bane is because there was one storyline from the comics where Bane breaks Batman's back. And so, of course, Christopher Nolan used that in The Dark Knight Rises, but there was no build-up to the fact that Bane is a threat, and Tom Hardy had that stupid voice thing where we didn't understand what he was saying. So, listen, put Bane on the shelf. Let's stop using him. It's not time for Bane anymore.
And we give it back to you, the people.
So this news gets me really pumped for the fact that DC is starting to shift its attention on the overall DCEU scale to Batman and Gotham and his world. I don't think that these new movies have to necessarily go in that direction. I don't want to see Bruce Wayne's parents killed again. Let's just start with Batman being Batman. But he has so many amazing villains who I think that DC has been underusing on the silver screen that it's time for them to start taking center stage again, and Penguin is a perfect start. Yes, of course, we're always going to think about Danny DeVito and the way that he portrayed him, but the character of Penguin can be portrayed in so many different ways. He can have a criminal gangster sort of mafioso background. You could play it a little bit more credible. It doesn't have to be that sort of over-the-top cartoonish way that Danny DeVito played him in the Tim Burton movies. I just think it's a character that's open to interpretation, and I especially trust Matt Reeves to go in that direction. And I hope that this means that DC is going to bring a few other supporting Batman or main Batman villains in that we haven't seen in a while, like Riddler, and even a new version of the Joker that we, could be separate from the Todd Phillips version that's coming in October. Are you guys happy that Penguin may show up in the DCEU? Who do you think should play him? Hit the comment section down below and give us your best thoughts. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. It means an awful lot to us.